Okay, so this was your homework. You had to do actually number 1 up until 5.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
have a look at A until D. Uh-huh. Any questions there?
No, ma'am.
Right, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Can I skip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All we had to remember here was God match, no? Okay, there's E and F. And then 2A. You will see that at 2A, I first wrote it in the form of fraction, just to see it clearly. But you didn't have to. You could have skipped directly from here to that, if you were comfortable with it. Okay, I just showed you that it could be written as a fraction as well. Right, any questions here? You guys sure? Can I skip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there's B, C, and D. Again, you will see that at B and D, I wrote it in the form of a fraction, but still you could have skipped directly to the answer. Right, any questions? None. Hands up, you're still copying? Okay. Okay. You're still busy, okay? Are you still copying? Done. Right. There's number E and F. Over here, I wanted you to see that I first had to do these two and sort out those two. And you'll see that I wrote those in the form of fractions. Keep the phone down. Focus, yeah. So that's why I put the minus 45x squared over the 3x because it's divided by 3x. And then plus, and then those last two I also put in fraction form. So 14x squared over or divided by 7x. And now each one of those fractions I then simplified. I'm quickly going to show you, and I'll take it away just now because I know it looks ugly. 3 will go in once, and 3 will go in there 15 times. And then I can take x at the bottom, which means I can take one of those x's at the top. So over here, I'm left with minus 15x to the power of 1, or just minus 15x. You guys all fine with that? At the second one, 7 will go in once, 7 will go in twice. I take x at the bottom, so I can only take one of those x's at the top. So look at what's left. 2x to the power of 1 over 1. And that's the same as just 2x, right? And now you'll see that these two are like terms because they both have the unknown x. So I was allowed to go and say minus 15x plus 2x will give me the minus 13x. Do you guys all understand that? Any questions? Okay, the same basically applies for f. But what I did here is I first sorted out these first 3 terms because division and multiplication is more important than subtraction. So those first two, if I multiplied the 35 and the 2, it gave me the 70. A squared times a gave me a to the power 3, and b times b gave me b squared. And then I said that divided by the 7ab squared. Do you understand? Okay, and then I first have to sort it out here. Now what I did there is 7 will go in once, and 7 will go in 10 times. I take a at the bottom, so I can take one of them at the top, so there will be 2 left. And then b squared cancels out with b squared. So you'll see that over there, I only have left 10a to the power of 2, actually over 1, but that's a whole number, so I can just write it as 10a to the power of 2. You guys fine with that? And once I got up until that point, I would see that those two are like terms because they both have a squared as an unknown. So I can say 10a squared minus 10a squared will give me 0. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Can I skip? You still copying? Okay. Quickly want to talk to you guys about the test just now, so I just want to double check something. The timetable. The final timetable does say that next week, Wednesday the 16th. Yes, so we're on track for that. Remember, next week, Wednesday, you will be writing your test about chapter 1 and 2. Okay, so please start studying already. By Friday, we will be done with everything from chapter 2. So you will have the whole of the weekend to study, and then Monday and Tuesday we can revise a lot. Okay. Right, can I skip? There's 3A and B. You still busy? Okay. Okay, hands up, you're still copying. Yeah. 3A. Okay, so what I did here is I first cancelled out. Remember, when we cancel out, we can do it either up and down. Christopher, put away and take that off your ear. I know that you're focusing here. Either up and down, or we cancel out across. No. Okay, so what I did is I first cancelled out up and down. So 32 will go into itself, different color. 32 will go into itself once, and 32 will go in there twice. Then the A cancels out with the A, and the C cancels out with the C. So at the top I have 1, B, and at the bottom 2. So do you get how I got there? Okay, right. Now the next one, 4 will go into itself once, and 4 will go in there twice. Then B cancels out with one of the B's at the bottom. So that is why at the top I have left 2C, and at the bottom 1B, or just B. Right? And now some of you might have then after that did cancelling out across. And then you would have seen that the B cancels out with that B, and the 2 cancels out with this 2. So, but it was 2 demakar if I did it all in once. So that's why I just added this extra step. You could have gone from here to there. Okay. Right, so if I cancel those out, you'll see at the top, 1 times C will give me 1C. And at the bottom, nothing, nothing. So it's actually over 1. No. And that is why my final answer is then just C. Are you good? Okay, do you guys want me to go through B as well? Yes. There's a yes. Okay, so over here, 2 will go into itself once, 2 will go into 16, 8 times. Then X cancels out with one of those X's at the top, and the Y cancels out with a Y. So have a look, you've got left 8X over 1, or just 8X. No. Okay, then over here, 12 will go into itself once, and 12 will go in twice. X cancels out with X. So you actually have left minus 2y squared over, over minus 1. And that is the same as minus 2y squared. Do you guys agree? Okay, so when I get up until there, just take all of these away. Okay, now it's multiplication. So the 8 times the minus 2 gave me minus 16. And x times y squared gave me xy squared. Okay, right. There is C and D. First thing we had to do here is that division sign, I wanted to change to multiplication. Remember, we're not allowed to cancel out when we're still dividing. So for me to be able to change that division to a multiplication, it means that right after that, what's written after the division sign, that must be swapped around. So it's not 6x over y anymore, it now becomes y over 6x. And then you'll see the y's cancel out. 6 will go in itself once, and 6 will go in there twice, and the x's cancel out. So that is why my final answer is 2. Okay. Then let's look at the blue one. At D, again, the division sign, I wanted to change to multiplication, which means that these two have got to swap around. And then from there, it was cancelling out. Do you want me to show the cancelling out? Yes. Okay. So 9 will go into itself once, and 9 will go in there 8 times. The M cancels out with the, oh, sorry, no. The N cancels out with the N. Okay. Then over here, 18 goes in once, and 18 goes in there twice. Then this M cancels out with one of those M's. But I'm not done. I've already cancelled out up and down. So now let's look at across. Can you see this P can cancel with that one? Okay, and then at the top, I have minus 8M times 2M, and that minus 8 times 2 gave me minus 16, and M times M gave me the M squared. Okay, let me hear. Any questions? Can I skip? Okay, there's 4A and B. All you have to do here is remember about BODMAS. So these first two, I had to multiply them, and that's how I got the minus 20. Then I've got to multiply these last two, and that's how I got the minus 18. And now I want you to see that this plus and the minus will become a negative, and that's how I got to the minus 38. You fine with that? Okay, at B, again, I had to first multiply these two, and then multiply those two. Now, this plus and the minus, a positive times a negative will become a negative, and then minus 12 minus 40 will give me minus 52. Any questions? Can I skip? Okay. Hands up is still busy. Okay. Okay. Can I skip? Right. At C, I had to divide these two. That's why I wrote it in the form of a fraction. Plus, and then the 12 divided by minus 3, I also wrote in the form of a fraction. Okay, now if I simplified that first fraction of 16 over minus 8, that gave me minus 2, plus 12 over minus 3 simplified will give me minus 4. But we don't want two signs next to each other. What is a positive times a negative? A negative. So that's why it becomes minus 4. And then minus 2 minus 4 will become minus 6. I'm going to take that phone. At D, people, I do not want to see you on your phone. I am allowed, even though we are technological whatever school, and you are allowed to have devices with you, when it's not required of you to use your device now, and you are on it, same rules apply. I can take it, and I can keep it in the front at the office for 30 days. Okay? Right, so at D, Multiplication, so minus 10 times minus 7 gave me that positive 70. Then I got to do the division, so 22 divided by minus 2. And that's how I got to this. Sorry. That's how I got to this positive 11. Because that negative and this negative makes a positive. Okay? And then 70 plus 11 will give me 81. Can I skip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, have a look at E and F. I think you guys get the drift now. Okay, so kyk vir hulle. Yeah. Bathroom. Quick. Any questions at E or F? Take it off, like completely away from your ears. There we go. Because you are still listening to music. Yeah. Then you get 0. Because if it's said without the use of a calculator, what we're actually marking is your steps. Okay.
But the steps are there, but they're wrong.
But they're wrong.
Man, why don't you get this thing right? The answer wrong.
Then you'll probably just lose 1 mark. Because if the answer is wrong, then you probably went wrong somewhere in your steps. I can still, remember, if you get something wrong, you lose that 1 mark, but I can still work with your mistake. Up until you make the second mistake, then I've got to stop marking. Okay. Right, can I skip?
No.
Who says no? Okay. Tell me when you're done. Okay. Now at number 5, we also just had to simplify. And again, BODMAS is very important. So in this first one, you will see that I did the multiplication first. And minus 6a times 4b gave me that minus 24ab. And then I say plus, and now I multiply these last two. 2b times minus 7a will give me minus 14ab. Now these two signs, a positive times a negative, will give me a negative. And you will see that both of those have got the same unknowns. So they are like terms. So I can say minus 24ab minus another 14ab will give me minus 38ab. Right, then at B, same thing. I had to multiply these two first. And that gave me minus 11mn plus, and now I multiply the 2m and the minus 6n. And that gives me minus 12mn. Now I need to multiply those two signs, and that gives me the negative. And these two terms are like terms because they both have m and n as an unknown. So minus 11mn minus 12mn will give me minus 23mn. Just hold on a second. Happy. Okay, sorry, your hand was up? Yeah. with a minus 1n. I said 11m times minus 1n, and that gave me minus 11mn. Okay, are you good? Okay, and then both of these has got mn as an unknown, so I could go and subtract, and that gave me minus 23mn. Okay, can I skip? Okay, there we go. See, I first had to divide these two, and instead of dividing, I wrote them in the form of a fraction, and then I said plus, and now these two I write in the form of a fraction. So now you could go and cancel out. 8 will go in once, and 8 will go in twice, and this y cancels out with one of the y. So that's why in the first term I have left minus 2y. Okay, in the second term, 5 will go in once, and 5 will go in 3 times. So it's actually 3y over minus 1, and that's the same as minus 3y. Do you guys all get that part? Okay, now they were like terms because they both have y as an unknown. So I can say minus 2 minus 3 will give me minus 5y. Okay, and then at D, I first had to multiply these two, and minus 12q times minus 6p gave me positive 72pq. And then minus, and now I've got to divide these two. So 18pq divided by minus 3, and that's simplified. Remember, these two minuses will become a plus. No? And the 18pq over 3 simplified will become 6pq. Now you'll see that both of those terms has got pq as an unknown, so they are like terms, which means that I am allowed to go and add them. So 72pq plus 6pq will give me 78pq. Milan, waar gaan jy? Why? We're still marking. Can I skip?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there's E and F. Same story at E. Oops, sorry. At E, I first multiplied these two, and minus 3ab times 4b squared, bc, will give me minus 12ab squared c. Then I said multiply these two, so minus 2ac times minus 6b squared will become plus 12ab squared c. And then you'll see that they are like terms, so I can go and add and subtract, and that will give me 0. And then at F, first step was to write those divisions in the form of a fraction. Then I could go and cancel out. So in the first fraction, I will only have left minus 2n. And in the second fraction, I will have left 10n. Now they're like terms because they both have n as an unknown. So minus 2n plus 10n will give me 8n. Any questions there? Right, can I skip? Yeah, but we still got 3 more slides that you guys have got a copy, for example. Okay, so what we're moving on to now is mixed operations. Can I skip? Hands up, we're still copying, yeah? Okay, so the first one, what I want you guys to remember again is the order of calculations is very important here. Now, order of calculations, we think of BODMAS. The B is for brackets. The O is for of. D is division. M, multiplication, A is addition, and S is for subtraction. Okay, so what we've got here is minus 3 and then a bracket with which is 5A plus 6B. Okay, now according to BODMAS, brackets must be done first. But can I simplify inside that bracket? No. Why not? Because those two terms are not like terms. The one has got an A and the other one has got a B. Okay, so I couldn't simplify inside the bracket. But how could I get rid of that bracket? Do you remember last year that this minus 3, not just the 3, but the minus and the 3, written right in front of that bracket, actually means that must be multiplied with everything inside the bracket. Do you remember that? Okay, so what I've got to do here is I've got to say minus 3 times the 5A, and that will give me minus 15A. And then I'm going to say minus 3 must also be multiplied with a positive 6B, which means I'm going to have minus 18B. Okay, so can you see I got rid of my brackets? Okay, always go check. Are these like terms now? No. So I couldn't go and add or subtract. This is basically simplified as far as I could go. Okay. Listen. I still had 2 more examples to do. So I can't give you homework now, but if you maybe feel that you still remember this from last year and you want to try, tomorrow I'm going to give you the whole exercise 2.4. I was going to give you half today and half tomorrow, but now because time caught up with us, I'm going to have to give you the whole one tomorrow. Okay?